Pruitt, and for my model project for Bio 202 that I have Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I was assigned deglutition. For this project, I made a storybook to help you understand the physiological process. But first of all, I'd like to give a huge thanks to Dr. Primack for making Bio 202 so much fun and for helping me clearly understand the physiology of the body. So first of all, to understand this story, we need to know what deglutition is. Deglutition is the physiological term for swallowing, which is a complex process, but in this storybook, we will make it fun. Once upon a time, Goku inserted a huge spoonful of macaroni and cheese into his mouth. This action done by Goku has begun the first phase of deglutition, which is the buccal phase. And there's Goku eating macaroni. Goku has now begun voluntarily masticating, or commonly known as chewing, his macaroni by grinding it against his teeth to break it down into smaller pieces so that it may go down nice and smooth. This nice chewy glob of food that Goku has just grinded into small pieces is called a bolus. And there's Mr. Bolus. Once the food substance is broken down into a satisfactory consistency, Goku will then force the food down by pushing the food bolus with his tongue against the hard palate of his mouth. Subsequently, the retraction of the tongue pushes the bolus into the oropharynx, which helps with the elevation of the soft palate to prevent food from entering Goku's nasopharynx. Here's Goku's tongue. The next stage of deglutition is the pharyngeal phase. In this phase, the swallowing reflexes start when the tactile receptors on the palatal arches and the uvula are stimulated. These tactile receptors detect sensations such as touch, pressure, and vibration, which in this case help relay information to the swallowing center. In the swallowing center of the medulla oblongata, cranial nerve 10, also known as the trigeminal nerve, and cranial nerve 11, also known as the glossopharyngeal nerve, causes the reflex, which leads to the food bolus being further pushed back into the pharynx and esophagus by rhythmic and involuntary contractions. A very important part of the stage is when the larynx elevates and epiglottis folds, which direct the bolus past the closed glottis, inhibiting food from entering the trachea. If this process were to fail, which it sometimes does, food would go down into your trachea, which causes you to choke. Luckily for Goku, he's a Super Saiyan, so he would never choke on a flimsy piece of food. Now back to science. Simultaneously, the uvula and the soft palate block the passageway to the nasopharynx, inhibiting food to go up into Goku's nose. There's the bolus and the tongue hitting the hard palate, and that's the epiglottis closing the passageway to the trachea. The third step of deglutition is the esophageal phase. In this phase, the contractions of the pharyngeal muscles force the food bolus into the entrance of the esophagus. Once the food bolus is inside of the esophagus, the food bolus is then pushed down toward the stomach by involuntary smooth muscle contractions, also known as peristaltic waves. This process generally takes about 9 seconds. So by now, the macaroni is inside of Goku's stomach, where it is now being digested. And there's the peristaltic waves pushing the bolus down into his stomach. In this case, I drew 2, but usually it's only 1. And that's how the deglutition physiological process works when Goku eats a bunch of macaroni and cheese.